A month and a half ago, I made a video called The Decline of B&M, and this is kind of a revisit to that. I highly advise you watch that video before this one, as it will provide valuable context for some of the things I'm going to discuss in this video. Also, while you're at my channel, clicking that subscribe button helps me out so much. I want to hit 4,000 before or while I'm at IAPPA, and I'm only 540 away. Thank you. When I made a video discussing B&M, I truly didn't think I would be revisiting them this soon. I still have all of these manufacturers I want to make videos on, but with the official trailer for the Surf Coaster, I need to talk some more about B&M before I can move on. The main point of that video ended up being that the Surf Coaster will either make or break B&M's future in America as a whole. Now that we actually know what we're dealing with, I want to dive into this a little further and see what it means for SeaWorld and B&M themselves. First off, what is the Surf Coaster? Well, it's kind of being marketed as the next generation stand-up coaster. I personally think this marketing is essentially shooting the model in the foot, but I'll get back to that. A few things make this model stand out from previous stand-ups. Firstly, this is a launch coaster, not a lift hill coaster. Secondly, this is more of a family coaster than a thrill coaster. Finally, the restraints move? What would be a good term for this? They bob? Whatever, you can see the footage here. Essentially, the seats will be moving to mimic riding waves. I have not seen a definitive answer as to if the movement is controlled, free-flowing, or controlled by the rider, and honestly, that's going to be a huge factor in my opinion as to where this ride will fall on the scale of boring to amazing. I ran a poll on my community tab to see how you guys felt about how it would stack up, and the results showed pretty strongly that you guys think this ride will be mid or slightly better. I agree with this to some extent, but I think B&M has made a huge mistake that will cost them a whole lot. When I predicted the Surf Coaster was B&M's last chance to make a splash in America, I made one key mistake. I failed to emphasize why B&M is on the decline. I said that they're running out of places to put them, and I'm not sure I communicated that very effectively. B&Ms are four things. First off, expensive. No one can argue that. Second off, big. They usually take up large plots of land. Thirdly, reliable. That's good for parks. And lastly, GP magnets. Unfortunately, all of these things combined kind of make a pretty limited customer base. Most of the parks that are willing to pay for a B&M for its reliability and crowd draw factor went out and bought the ones they wanted and filled up most of their land with them. We simply do not see B&M making as many coasters in America these days. Think about it. Cedar Fair went on a B&M spending spree and picked up most of their models scattered across the chain before moving on to work with other companies like RMC, SNS, and Zamperla. Six Flags had to raise their prices for season passes to afford one B&M, and has since said they will not be investing in new rides for a while. Hershey seems to be focusing on family attractions currently, and even Hershey is seemingly running out of space to the degree that they have to expand their park to add just one B&M a couple years ago. You might be disagreeing with me, but even B&M agrees with me, and so they did what no one expected and launched a new ride model. Well, kind of. The Surf Coaster does open a whole new market for them, which is a good business move, and I will give them that credit. By starting to make family-oriented coasters, B&M opens up an entire new stream of business. I cannot find an answer for how much this ride is costing SeaWorld, but if these rides aren't cheap, they very well might run into the same issues they were experiencing in the last 5 years or so. My real question here though is, why turn a stand-up into a family coaster? Of all the models, why the one that people associate the most with pain? I would understand if they made family inverts to compete with Vekoma and SNS, or family sit-downs to try to be the next Aero Looper type model, but a stand-up? Nah. Like I said earlier, I see this as B&M shooting the ride model in the foot. Intamin and Mach kind of have a death grip on the launch market right now in America, with Vekoma having a big piece of that pie overseas, so I'm just struggling to wrap my head around this business decision honestly, at least from B&M's perspective. Now from SeaWorld's perspective, this is a slam dunk. For a moment, consider Thunderbird at Holiday World. That is a one-of-a-kind launched wing coaster and is an amazing hit at that park. No wing coasters have been made in America since, and while a few rumors have been floating about some parks getting them, it doesn't look like any will be getting one anytime soon. I think SeaWorld will end up having a one-of-a-kind attraction that isn't particularly special by any means, but is extremely gimmicky, thus making it a must-ride once type ride. For a park, and chain for that matter, trying to build their coaster portfolio out, that one-of-a-kind coaster is a massive draw. To wrap up this chaotic thought train with a neat bow, GG SeaWorld. B&M, better luck next time. I truly believe they will grow to regret this in America. What do you think? Let's talk about it in the comments and over on my Twitter, which will be linked in the description. I look forward to hearing your opinion. I'm Josh from Station Wait. Have a great day.